twisted.
Andrew, that was you. That noise came out of your body. Okay, on this one I need to distribute. Do you know what I would get if I took negative 4y squared times 5y to the fourth?
Negative 20y to the sixth.
Yes, negative 20y to the sixth. You add the exponents when you multiply the same variable or the same base. Okay, how about negative 4y squared times a negative 3y squared? Positive 12y to the fourth. Okay, and then if I take negative 4y squared times a positive 2? Negative 8y squared. Okay, so factoring is going backwards. Factoring is taking a problem that looks like this, already multiplied out, and factoring it, giving me something like this. So factoring typically has parentheses in an answer. It's something times something that gives you what you started with. Okay, so this down here, this is the first rule of factoring. It's to always look for the greatest common factor, the GCF. And this shows you one way of doing it. I don't really think about it like that. I just have it there for you in case you like that. I first look at the coefficients and I ask myself, what's the biggest thing that would divide into a 4, divide into a 12, and also divide into an 8? What's the greatest number that would divide into all three of those evenly? 4. 4 is the biggest number that would divide into all of those evenly. So I know that 4 is part of the GCF. And then I look at the x's. This one's got 3 x's. This one's got 2 x's. This one's got 1 x. So what's the greatest number of x's they all have in common? They all have 1 x in common. So 4x would be the GCF. So as far as numbers are concerned, it's the greatest number that will divide into all the numbers. And as far as letters are concerned, it's the greatest number of that same letter that they all have in common. Okay, so before we actually factor, I just want to find the GCF. That's it. So looking at this first one, starting with the 5 and the 10. What's the greatest thing that would divide into a 5 and also divide into a 10? 5. Okay, and then what's the greatest number of v's they both have in common? They both have 3. So 5v cubed would be the GCF. Okay, on number 2. What's the greatest thing that would divide into 3 and also divide into 18? 3. Do they both have t's? Then they don't have t's in common, and 3 would be the GCF. Sometimes your GCF is just a number. Sometimes it's a number and variables. Sometimes it's just a variable. Sometimes it's just 1. Okay, number 3. What's the greatest thing that will divide into 4, 2, and 6? 2. And what's the greatest number of b's they all have in common?
1.
They all have 1. Okay. Take a couple moments and see if you can do 4, 5, and 6, and then we'll go over them. You're full of crazy noises, huh? Okay, to keep this fair, Stormy, what'd you get for number 4?
4 got 2x.
2x. The greatest number that divides into 2, 10, and 6 is 2, and the greatest number of x's they all have is 1. Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 5 goes to, not here, Shelby. 3. They don't all have x's, so that means they don't all have x's in common. So it's just a 3. Beautiful. Okay, and Colton O, number 6.
2x squared y.
Good, 2x squared y. 2 is the greatest number that goes into 4 and 10. The greatest number of x's they both have is 2, and the greatest number of y's they both have is 1. You remember doing this? Yes. Okay, flip it over. Now we're going to actually factor. So factoring involves parentheses, and it's going to multiply to give you what you started with. So the first rule of factoring is to always look for the GCF. That's all we're practicing today. So looking at number 1, what would you tell me the GCF is? 4x. Okay, once you find your GCF, you build a set of parentheses behind it, and you ask yourself 4x multiplied with what would give you what you started with. So 4x times what would give you that 8x squared?
2x.
2x. And 4x times what would give you the negative 12x?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. And now it's factored. Sometimes, and we'll, I don't know if we'll get into it this year because I don't know how much time we'll have. Sometimes you can factor what's left in the parentheses, but today we're not going to worry about that. So that's as far as it's going to go. Okay, number 2. What do you think your GCF is? 5D. And then once I find the GCF, I build my parentheses back behind it. So 5D times what would give me 5D cubed? 1D squared. And I can put the 1 or not put the 1. It doesn't really matter. So how about 5D times what would make 10D? A positive 2. And I know when I did this with my freshmen, I had to explain a little bit more. So if any of you are forgetting, don't hesitate to ask me. Okay, number 3. What do you think the GCF is? 6m. And once I find the GCF, I build my parentheses back behind it. So 6m times what would give me 6m cubed? M squared. And 6m times what would give me a negative 12m squared? What kind of 2m? A negative 2m. And 6m times what would give me a negative 24m? What kind of 4? A negative 4. And then that's it. And like I said, sometimes you can factor what's in the parentheses a little bit more, but today that's all we're going to do. Okay, I want to see if you can finish this, and then we'll go over it. So I'll give you about 5 minutes to do that, and then we'll see how you do. Oh, cross out 11, because I have a mixture of letters in there, and I didn't mean to do that. That was a typo. So cross out number 11. Yes. I know.
Is it really? I'm so glad. Wow, your observation skills are through
Are you guys ready? Are you finding this to be easy or not easy? I guess we'll see. Stormy, what'd you get for 4?
Do you really? 4, am I really?
Yep, that's it. Okay, I mainly only have Jolly Ranchers and Dum Dums, but come on up and help yourself. So number 4 should have looked like that. Beautiful. Okay, Andrew, number 5.
2 parentheses 2x plus 7.
Beautiful. 2 parentheses 2x plus 7. Go ahead, come on up and get it. Wow, don't say that. Come on up and get something.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, not here. Alex, number 6.
I got it.
Come on, Alex. What is she doing in there? Jada. Savannah.
6.
Uh-huh.
2 parentheses 1 minus 2x.
Yes, 2 parentheses 1 minus 2x. The greatest thing that goes into 2 and 4 is 2. They don't both have x's, so you can't pull any x's out. And then 2 times 1 makes 2. And 2 times negative 2x makes negative 4x. This one you have to have. Did anybody think you would not need that one? This one you have to have because otherwise if you don't have it there, when you go to distribute it, you won't get what you started with. Did you have it, Alex? Then why didn't you tell me?
He's like, I had it.
You can get something. Okay, next one, Emily S., number 7.
4x squared parentheses x plus 2.
Beautiful, that's it. 4x squared, parenthesis, x plus 2. Very nice. You can come on up, you can get something. Emily Gray, number 8.
1v parentheses v plus.
That's it. 1v, or just a v, parentheses, v plus 4. You can come on up if you want something. No, nobody wants anything? Okay. Heather, number 9.
Wow.
Not here. Not here. Angelica, number 9.
5 parentheses 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4.
That's it. 5 parentheses 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4. Do you want to come up and get something?
I'll take the pot.
Jeez, I'm about to take this personally. Gavin, how about number 10? You should have been able to pull some t's out at the beginning. Craig, how about you? What do you think? Number 10.
2t squared parentheses minus 5 plus 2.
What'd you have in your parentheses?
Negative 5 plus 2.
No, so close. Colton Cotton?
2t squared parentheses 1 minus 5t squared.
That's it. 2t squared parentheses 1 minus 5t squared. Because when you take the 2t squared times the 1, that gives you back the 2t squared. Remember, this has to distribute to give you back what you started with. If it doesn't distribute to give you what you started with, then you've done something wrong. Plus, if they both have t's, you need to make sure you pull t's out. Do you want something? Do you want a Jolly Rancher or Dum Dum? Okay. Masha, number 11. Oh, we skipped that one. Number 12.
5 cubed in parentheses 5p cubed plus 4pi squared plus 3.
And what was the number you had out at the very beginning in front of your p cubed?
6.
Yeah, that's it. So 6p cubed and then parentheses p cubed plus 4p squared plus 3. Do you want something? Nikki, how about number 13?
3x squared parentheses 1 minus 2x cubed.
That's it. 3x squared and then in parentheses 1 minus 2x cubed. Is everybody looking okay? Nikki, do you want something from my bowl? Cooper, number 14.
2x squared y parentheses 2 plus 5x squared y squared.
That's it. 2x squared y, and then in parentheses 2 plus 5x squared y squared, and that leaves us with one more. Do you want something, Cooper?
I think.
Okay. Tommy?
3x squared y cubed parentheses 3y minus 4x.
That's it. Beautiful. 3x squared y cubed, and in parentheses 3y minus 4x squared. Thank you, Tommy. Take something. All right. So on Tuesday, I'll continue on with the flip this house, and I'll show you how to do something that you can do then on Wednesday with your groups. And you have a 3-day weekend again. Are you excited?
I'm as excited as a tornado in a stroller park.
I'm probably pretty excited.
No one else is going to take them.
No, right? What's up with that?
I'll take it for them.
They're so shy, I guess. Have a nice long weekend.
I'll take it for them.
You have a nicer, longer week.
What'd you say? I did. Well, I took one person's. Angelica, did I get yours? Is it your packet that I got? Oh, Savannah's. Yeah, I just took one person's. No. Thank you. You too.
Miss Wood, are you excited?
I am.
Have a good one.
Almost ready.
Thank you. You too.